Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautifully chaotic day in the soap world, and we are absolutely ready to dive right into the madness. We have some incredibly shocking developments to discuss. So grab a comfortable seat, get your favorite beverage, and let us unpack this phenomenal drama together. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. I am running on absolutely zero sleep. My eyes are practically bleeding from staring at my screens, and I just aggressively smashed the record button at 3 a.m. because this grueling, decade-long journey has finally pushed me over the absolute edge. Unbelievable, guys. What's going on here? Look, we all knew the Newman family was a walking, talking, toxic waste dump of psychological warfare, but this is beyond the pale. Basically, the absolute unthinkable has happened, and I am dumping my unedited psychic damage onto the digital hive mind because I desperately need the only circle that speaks this language to witness my existential collapse. Listen to me closely because I am about to drop a nuclear bomb on your timeline. Victor Newman has just discovered that Adam is the one who switched Nikki's medication, and that twisted, unfathomable act of sabotage is exactly what caused Nikki to go blind. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Suddenly, the entire landscape of Genoa City has been violently ripped apart, and we are staring down the barrel of a storyline that is a total game changer. Honestly, I am spiraling through a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal. Basically, Victor found the definitive proof, the absolute smoking gun that links his own flesh and blood to the physical destruction of the love of his life. Picture the scene, because the raw frames pack a lethal crunch. Victor sitting in that iconic dimly lit office, the heavy silence suffocating the room, and suddenly the realization hits him like a freight train. The mustache is quivering with ungodly rage. He has gone completely nuclear, apocalyptic, scorched earth crazy on Adam. And honestly, the sheer velocity of Victor's wrath is breaking the scale. He literally looked like he was going to tear the walls down with his bare hands. Look, we have to talk about Adam's absolute audacity here. Honestly, what was going through his head? Basically sneaking into the ranch, bypassing whatever billion-dollar security Victor allegedly pays for, and meticulously swapping out Nikki's vital medication with something that would systematically destroy her optic nerves. It is a major flex of pure unadulterated villainy, but it also highlights his low-key obsession with dismantling his father's happiness piece by piece. Wait, why are we like this? Why do we sit here and watch this man single-handedly test our sanity week after week? Adam is a total monster who deserves to be locked in a subterranean vault for the rest of his natural life. But wait, honestly, part of me completely understands the deeply rooted psychological trauma that drove him to this point. He has been rejected, tossed aside, and treated like the black sheep for so long that his brain just snapped. Actually, no, I take that back. Blinding your stepmother is completely indefensible. I am completely contradicting myself here because my emotions are redlining, and I am just trying to make sense of this absolute massacre of family trust. Listen, Nikki Newman is a legend, an absolute matriarch who has survived cults, serial killers, and decades of corporate espionage. To see her stripped of her independence, stumbling around in the dark, terrified and vulnerable because of a calculated pill swap, it is physically painful to watch. Suddenly, her entire world is pitched into darkness, and the sheer cruelty of targeting her eyesight, her ability to see her grandchildren, her ability to look Victor in the eyes is a level of psychological warfare that even I didn't think Adam was capable of. Basically, Adam didn't just attack Nikki, he attacked the very foundation of the Newman legacy. He knew that if he took down the queen, the king would completely lose his mind. Honestly, it worked perfectly, maybe a little too perfectly, because now Victor is a wounded rabid animal out for blood. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension, thinking about Adam's sad childhood in Kansas, and how Victor's emotional unavailability created this monster. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. The confrontation between Victor and Adam is what we really need to dissect. High-octane jump cuts to the moment Victor finally corners Adam. The energy hit absolute terminal velocity. Victor didn't just yell. He unleashed decades of resentment, betrayal, and absolute disgust. You crossed the line. You got that? The decibel level was catastrophic. Basically, Victor was ready to completely erase Adam from existence, and honestly, Adam just stood there, absorbing the shockwave with that infuriating stoic smirk that masks his own internal panic. Honestly, there are legends carrying this entire journey on their shoulders, and Eric Braeden is absolutely one of them. The way he portrayed Victor's transition from a desperate, grieving husband trying to comfort his blind wife to a ruthless, cold-blooded executioner ready to annihilate his own son is a masterclass in soap opera acting. Suddenly, you realize that Victor doesn't even see Adam as his son anymore. He sees him as a disease that needs to be eradicated from the Newman family tree. Look, I have been watching this dynamic play out for years, but this time the stakes are irreversible. You can't just apologize for making someone go blind. You can't just write a check to fix severed optic nerves. This is a permanent, life-altering tragedy, and Adam is the architect of this absolute nightmare. Wait, why are we like this? Why am I sitting here at 3 a.m. vibrating with adrenaline over a fictional family's implosion? Because this is what happens when a show perfectly executes a long con betrayal. Basically, the writers have been planting these seeds of resentment for months, letting Adam's isolation fester until it mutated into this horrific act of sabotage. It is a brilliant, albeit devastating, narrative choice. Honestly, I am low-key obsessed with the sheer darkness of this plot. It forces every single character to choose a side. There is no middle ground when someone deliberately blinds the matriarch. Suddenly, Nick and Victoria are going to have to step up, and they are going to use this as the ultimate ammunition to permanently exile Adam from Newman Enterprises and the family. Listen, let's do an immersive deep dive into the mechanics of this betrayal. How did Adam even source the chemicals to mimic her pills while systematically destroying her vision? The level of premeditation is staggering. He had to study her dosage, replicate the exact size and color of the pills, and orchestrate the swap without leaving a single digital footprint or catching the attention of the Newman security detail. It is a terrifying testament to Adam's intellect and his completely fractured moral compass. Basically, he weaponized Nikki's own health regimen against her. Honestly, every time Nikki swallowed a pill, thinking she was taking care of herself, she was actually swallowing Adam's concentrated hatred. If that does not make your blood run cold, I don't know what will. And what about the fallout? Look, Victor is not just going to call the Genoa City Police Department. That is not how the mustache operates. Victor is going to dismantle Adam's life with surgical precision. Suddenly, every asset Adam has, every relationship he cherishes, every shred of dignity he possesses is going to be systematically targeted and destroyed by Victor's limitless resources. Honestly, Victor is going to make Adam wish he had never been born. The impending corporate bloodbath is going to be a total game changer for the entire business landscape of the city. Basically, Newman Enterprises is going to pivot from a global conglomerate to a dedicated war machine focused entirely on ruining Adam Newman. I am literally shaking just thinking about the psychological warfare that is about to unfold. Wait, what if Adam tries to justify it? What if he spins some twisted narrative that Nikki deserved it for constantly whispering in Victor's ear and trying to push Adam out of the company? Honestly, Adam's ability to gaslight the entire universe is unparalleled. He might actually try to play the victim here, claiming that Victor's toxic favoritism drove him to temporary insanity. But look, even Adam's most loyal defenders, and I know you guys are out there in the comments, cannot possibly spin this into a misunderstood cry for help. Blinding a woman is villainy in its purest, most distilled form. Whoa. I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension again, thinking about how Adam could possibly redeem himself in the next 5 years of storylines. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. The reality is, there is no redemption arc for this. You don't just bounce back from intentionally blinding Nikki Newman. Basically, this is the event horizon for Adam. He has crossed the point of no return, and we are all just strapped in for this terrifying ride into the abyss. Honestly, the raw frames of Nikki crying in the dark, reaching out for Victor while Victor stares over her shoulder with murder in his eyes, that visual is permanently burned into my retinas. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. I need you guys to flood the comments right now because my brain is completely short-circuiting. Are we Team Victor going absolutely feral and destroying Adam, or are we somehow incomprehensibly finding a microscopic shred of pity for the broken man Adam has become? Actually, no, scratch that. There is no pity. I am fully on board the Victor Newman revenge train, and I want to see the conductor push the throttle to the absolute maximum. Basically, I am here for the chaos, I am here for the screaming matches, and I am here for the inevitable moment when Adam realizes he has finally bitten off way more than he can chew. This is peak drama, people. Honestly, this is why we endure the grueling decade-long journey. For moments like this, where the filter is completely gone, the script is thrown out the window, and we are left with raw, unadulterated human emotion, suddenly, all the slow burn corporate meetings and repetitive dialogue of the past 6 months have paid off in this spectacular explosion of lore-shattering climax. I am completely exhausted. My soul is drained, but I am also more alive than I have been in years. Look, I am going to finally try to get some sleep, but let's be real, I am just going to lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying Victor's earth-shattering roar in my head on a continuous loop. Basically, this show owns my entire life, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.